everyone, it's Silver. Welcome again to another WIP in chat or work in progress. I'm actually currently working on Rainbow Rose. It's actually a kit by Diamond Art Club. I believe it's 32 by 32 centimeter painting. It's square. I decided that I was going to go ahead and work on a painting that I have recently started, I want to say, during the last raid train event, and I haven't really worked on since, and I didn't feel like starting a new painting after finishing Dumbo, which was the one we had from last week. I decided, you know what, let's finish more this week than I start. I haven't really accomplished that goal, but either way. So basically, I am working on most of the colors besides the blue that's on the outside of this rose. Let me show you what the painting itself is going to look like. It's in the bottom corner here-ish. Isn't that cute? I absolutely love the way that picture came out. It's more of a blue scale than I was anticipating based on the picture, but to be honest, kind of like all the extra blues. Been having fun working on it, and I was like, okay, you know what, this is in four really large sections. Let me go ahead and just do a little bit of work on them. As per usual, I try to do the lack of color, aka the blacks and the whites in the painting for section, or even in the sections, before moving on to all the different, obviously, rainbow colors that are in there. Lots of reds, lots of purples, lots of greens, yada yada yada. You know what I mean. Yeah. But I decided today I'm just going to work on just a little bit while we while we chat about everything that happened in the past week. Let's see, as you probably remember, me talking about the MCS, or the Makers and Crafters Society's raid train event that happened this past week into the weekend. Oh my goodness, guys, so much fun. I had a time slot at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I passed out until close to 8 a.m. I was having so much fun. I was like, oh yeah, right, I've got to sleep eventually. Ended up spending majority of the next day, after taking a quick 6-hour nap or whatever. I ended up spending the rest of the day with a headache, migraine. I'm still kind of recovering a little bit since then, but that's neither here nor there. I always have so much fun that, and then I'll regret it later, but it's fine. I would rather spend time with a bunch of awesome makers and crafters than sleep sometimes during the events. So I only have myself to blame for not sleeping. Let's see. Other than that, this week has been relatively quiet. I've been trying to spend a lot more time cleaning off my desk, getting all of my works in progress kind of situated. I have made the decision recently, and by recently I mean over the past like day and a half or so, that I am going to try to get as many works in progress done as I can, really, for Stash Dash when that pops up. That is something I'm going to be talking about more in future months, but it is an event that's hosted by the Knit Girls. It's a podcast I've been watching for years, and this is an event that happens where you basically try to finish as many things as you possibly can. So a lot of my projects, knitting and crochet wise, I have been spending a lot of time trying to figure out, okay, what do I have on the go? What can I possibly get myself about done with for this event? It doesn't start until May, so I have plenty of time. It's more of a, okay, what do I want to stress over now? What do I not want to stress over? I decided that making a list of everything I have on the go will help that stress level. And so I did that. There's a few more I have to find still. A couple blankets I haven't worked on in months, maybe a year. that eventually will be dealt with. But in the meantime, I'm trying to figure out what order I want to do paintings in and stuff like that, because I have 4 or 5 on the go now. And I was like, okay, that is too many. Let us figure out exactly which ones I'm going to do and in what order. And I decided, instead of, like I said at the very beginning, I decided that I was going to finish up this painting or anything that was during a raid train event, try to finish that by the end of the month, which, a little bit of inside baseball, is not terribly far away, so it sounds like a pretty good goal that I can get behind. Wish me luck, because yeah, we'll know in next week's WIP and chat if I actually accomplished my goal. Let's see. MTI and I didn't do too much this past week. Like I said, I pretty much prepped for the event and made sure I had everything under control and things like that. Because I get really nervous still when I do large scale events like that for streams, even though I've been streaming almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years, middle of April, over on Twitch. The links and everything you'll find of everything I've talked about will be linked below, as per usual. Let's see. I spent a lot of time this week figuring out, like I said, what I needed to finish, and in that vein, I did finish paintings. I'm rambly right now. I have no idea what's going on. Let's see. Oh, upcoming this week. Let's talk about that. Upcoming this week, I do have a stream on Wednesday. I'm planning on streaming my usual time from like 11 a.m. Eastern time, or even a little bit earlier, depending on how much I can get my butt in gear. And I will be streaming probably until about 2, maybe 3 at the latest, depending on how I feel. Because quite frankly, the week after an event, I sometimes take, I always try to take time for myself and kind of figure out, okay, how am I feeling? Like, the usual, check in with yourself, see how you're doing. Is there anything you can do to help your stress levels go down? Things like that. And inexplicably, the week after, or even days after an event, my body decides it's okay. You didn't treat us well while this event was going on, i.e., you eat like a toddler pretty much with what you eat. So we're just going to get mad at you and we're going to throw a tantrum. It usually happens within like the first 2 or 3 days after an event. So I try to take the time that my body apparently needs to recover from events and just lay about. I do tend to do, in my case, I tend to drink less caffeine after events, mostly because I know during events, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to keep myself caffeinated, keep myself awake, keep myself talking for the most part, because I tend to pick middle of the night, quote unquote, like shifts or time slots, which means that I want to be awake and I don't want to bore people and I don't want to put them to sleep at that particular time of night. So lots of caffeine tends to happen. Quite a bit, actually. As was also the case this time, to be completely frank. I ended up like 4 or 5 cups deep, and it's probably why I ended up staying up until 8, but that's neither here nor there. I believe a lot of my conversation during the event, I haven't quite gotten up the gumption to go ahead and watch back the VOD or the video on demand from that. I believe I talked about coffee like 80% of the time, which doesn't really surprise most of my normal viewers, either here on the podcast YouTube side or nor on the side where I am streaming and constantly drinking caffeine. As if you couldn't tell, I'm still waking up with my only cuppa for the day today, so I'm in recovery mode still. But I was like, you know what? I need to come in and chit and chat with all y'all. So anyway, how was everybody's week? Let me know. I know I always tend to talk a bit about what happened in the week and advertising anything going on this week. Since it's a pretty quiet week, we can pretty much assume that I don't have anything really to advertise except for my own stream. So, but yeah, this coming up, I'm trying to debate exactly what I'm going to be doing on my streams this week. I thought about just working on the paintings that I normally work on stream, and then I'm like, I don't know. Okay, I was looking for a color. Sorry. Let's see. I was thinking about possibly starting one of the 30 by 40s on stream and just kind of making it once I finish a section or two, that's the end of my stream, just to kind of come back. Or do I want to crochet for a few hours or do something different than diamond painting on streams? And I'm like, I don't know. It's gonna be a debate probably up until the time I go live. If you guys want to see anything in particular on the next VOD, let me know. Like I said, I am... Oh, right. That's right. That's what I was going to say. I'm officially caught up with all of the streams that I've had over the past little while. As of Sunday was when we were catching up with the MCS event. So those VODs went up pretty much right away. So that means y'all, you get it as close to live as you could possibly get without having to be or go to Twitch. But like I said, so that's good, right? Before that I had been not dumping, but I had been putting a bunch of videos up from all the different streams that I've had over the past little while, just to get them caught up as quickly as I possibly could. So it should be a little bit quieter, essentially, is what I'm saying here on the channel. Every Sunday, a little bit more closer to the date that we're on, so you're not surprised. I have been starting to lean more toward my plans for Stash Dash and the stash vlogs that will be happening. Right now we're still in the once a month. Next month will be 2 vlogs, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm going to be posting hopefully sometime today, a schedule of when I'm going to be streaming, when I'm going to be releasing videos and things like that. I'll put that as an announcement over on our Discord board. Then April, we do have a bunch of my affiliate anniversary stream and things like that, and all that stuff that's coming up. And when I'm doing special events, I'll be starting to do a little bit more scheduling of things in the Discord board. So if you see on the top left hand screen, put a picture kind of what it looks like here if Future Silver remembers, of where the events and things will be found. So if you're wondering, hey, when does such and such start, then you'll know. Especially when raid train events are happening, I will be scheduling those and putting those there just for everyone's ease of access. I feel like there's something else that I should mention, but I think that is going to do us for this week. I'm going to go ahead and actually continue working on this a little bit. I'm actually making a time lapse of this painting and a couple other ones on the go right now. Either way, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will see you all next week. Bye, y'all.